It is the 9 o'clock news, local edition on Rock 93.7. Tonight, I have in with me one man and a mission.
That's right.
That's probably a little too dramatic for that, but
Possibly.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
How's it going? I'm Jeremy Hinrichs. Play guitar. I'm about here in Cookeville. Hopefully trying to get out into the public sphere a little bit. Really haven't done anything live, but that's what I'm trying to get into.
All right, Jeremy. Well, where would you put your style of music?
Oh, it's definitely rock. I mean, it's just kind of straight up rock. I grew up listening to classic rock like Boston, Journey, REO Speedwagon, stuff like that. But I also like some newer stuff too. Well, newer relatively speaking, like early 2000s, 90s, like Goo Goo Dolls, Lifehouse, stuff like that. So kind of a mixture of certain elements from like older classic rock music with stuff I like from newer stuff too.
Interesting tie-in with the REO Speedwagon Lifehouse. I can kind of see there's some similarities there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Normally, whenever somebody tells me classic rock, they go for, oh man, AC/DC or maybe some Leonard Skinner. So.
I mean, I like them too, but I mean, probably my all-time favorite album, if you had to just pick one, it would be Boston's first album. So that just kind of gives you an idea what I grew up on.
What exactly about their music style?
Guitars.
The guitars.
I mean, it's pretty straight. Not just specifically them, but in general, just guitars is what got me into wanting to play music anyway.
So the songwriting they use on their guitar styles, what about lyric content?
I mean, to me, just when I'm listening to music, I think lyrics are important, but they're probably like second or more like maybe second or third on my list. To me, it's just the song as a whole, really, just how it all kind of goes together, and then kind of how the music sounds. And to me, quality of vocals, the actual singing, is actually even more important to me than what they're saying. So lyrics are almost last, but to me, lyrics, I know it's against what a lot of people think, but to me, just personally, lyrics kind of can make like a really good song even better because like I usually don't even notice what they're saying until I start getting into a song.
So as you listen to music in general, you get drawn in more so by the instrumentation.
Yeah, typically.
And the overall sound.
Yeah, right. Everything together is probably the first thing I notice. But I mean, if I had to pick individual pieces, it's going to be, I notice the actual music and instrumentation and quality of the vocals, just the sound of the vocals, not necessarily, like maybe the melody they're making, not necessarily the specific words. And then as I listen to a song and it's a song that I like, then I actually start picking up on what they're saying. Usually doesn't even really faze me too much the first time I hear it. But
so does that also factor into your songwriting?
Yeah, because like most of the songs that I've written, it's just where I've been sitting there strumming my guitar, playing around, watching TV, and I'll just be playing around and I'll hit, I like that chord progression. And I'll just kind of build off of that. And lots of times I don't even know what the song's going to be about. And just for whatever reason, I'll start singing lyrics to it and then it all kind of makes sense. But it's usually the music first is how I kind of started off. And most of the songs I've written, it's not like I've done it on purpose. It's just been kind of happen organically.
Muse of the moment.
Yeah, I guess. just kind of fiddling around, sitting there.
Or guitaring around.
Exactly. Yeah, very true. Very true.
Why don't we take a look at one of your first songs?
Okay.
I thought we might take a look at one that we've had for a little while.
Okay.
Got It Figured Out.
Yeah.
And this is one of your earlier songs?
I wrote that one maybe 2 years ago about now. I have one guitar pedal that has guitar or drum tracks on it. And I was just kind of playing around with the drum tracks. I do that sometimes, and that just kind of came from that. Nothing specifically like spurred it, just other than I had the drum track going and all of a sudden just kind of wrote a song.
So that's where the lyrics come from too then, because you got it figured out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, why don't we give that a listen?
Yeah.
This is Jeremy Hinrichs. Got it figured out. Hinrichs.
Yeah.
Let me try it again. Hinrichs.
Correct.
Is that better?
Perfect.
Jeremy Hinrichs.
Yeah.
Got it figured out, which I just did.
Yeah.
On the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. Tonight we have in studio with us Jeremy Hinrichs.
Correct.
See, I got it.
You got it.
A little practice and we get there. And you have done a lot of practice to get where you are. You've been playing guitar, I think we established earlier, for about 7 years.
Yeah,
so.
Right around there.
After learning to play it, at what point did you decide you were going to start writing your own music?
You know, that kind of just happened when I started, like right when I started almost. It went from just like strumming around, I was always bad about actually like sitting down and like, I want to learn this song. I never really enjoyed that. It was more like, all right, I want to learn these chords and play around with them and see what I can do with them. It was most of my time spent, I guess I was always really bad about doing hard practice. It was more just playing with guitar. And then it went to, oh yeah, I kind of like the way this sounds. I kind of like the way that sounds. And this, as the years went on and I learned more and more about guitar, I started putting it all together and being able to make songs.
So experimentation has always been a part of what you've done.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, there really hasn't been a real rhyme or reason to it. It's just kind of been playing around with it more than anything.
Now, have you gotten support for that? Is there your family? Are they like, hey, this is cool?
Oh,
or
yeah. I mean, they're not like, oh, you suck, get out of the house. No,
I would hope not.
Yeah, I think everybody thinks it's pretty cool that I'm doing that, and that, I mean, they enjoy it. Is
anybody working with you on this music, or are you just experimenting on your own? Or
most of the stuff I've written, I've done on my own. The stuff you guys have played here, there's one guy that actually I work with. I met him at work, and we just kind of realized we both played music, and he played bass, I played guitar, and we've jammed several times. I've gone up to his house, and he's put all the bass guitar on the songs that we've done. So we've done some stuff together. But as far as the actual songs, I mean, I just wrote them by myself. It was more like I brought them to him and like, hey, how do you like these songs? Oh yeah, I like it. And
so now when you do that, does he go, that sounds great, let me make one change? Or
he actually really hasn't. I don't know. He may have ideas, but he's never really said anything about it, about changing. He's always like, yeah, that's cool. But he's kind of a laid back guy anyways. Well, he's just happy to be jamming with somebody, I think. So
two guys hanging out, doing some jamming. Do you get a chance to get out and perform it? Or
for a while, we were looking for a drummer, never were able to find one. So we have yet to really gig. That's why I just did this as a solo artist. Because, I mean, we want to get a band together, but we haven't found a drummer or anything like that. So basically, I just did it under my name. And embarrassingly, all the songs have just drum tracks on them instead of, because I don't have
I was going to ask, you said earlier that you had some drum tracks that you kind of worked with. So do you use drum machine or?
It was actually one of my pedals, guitar pedals that I have that actually I never really liked the tones out of it. But one feature it had is it had some guitar or drum tracks on there that you can adjust different tempos and stuff like that. And when I first got it, I'm like, oh, I don't really like this pedal. And then I found that, and that's really all I've used it for since I've had it. I don't actually hook my guitar up to it. I just hook it up to.
Well, so you've not really found somebody to play the drums, but have you thought about maybe doing that with the full-on machine? Or?
Well, I would actually much prefer having an actual person. That to me, that's the worst part about my songs, just the fact that I have a drum machine doing it. I'd much rather have. I'm more of just a straight up rock guy. I like keeping it simple. Have a regular person there doing it. To me, that's more authentic. But I'd rather have the song out there with the drum tracks than not at all.
True. At least you've got something put together so you kind of see where it goes. Well,
yeah.
Tell you what, we're going to talk about where you're going with your music, what your plans are for that, where they can find you on the web. We'll do all that coming up as we continue with the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. Tonight, sitting down in studio with us, I have Jeremy Hinrichs, and we're talking about you've been doing the solo thing, got into playing guitar, kind of played around a little bit. Did you intend to go do the whole I want to make music solo? Or I think you said you started looking for a drummer. So was the idea to build a band? Or
that's still what I'd like to do. I mean, I turned everything in here solo just because we don't have a band. But I mean, I would much rather be part of a band than just going it solo personally. Because I mean, really, the only instrument I know how to play is guitar. Can't do everything at once either. So I'd much rather do it in a band environment.
Otherwise, you end up standing on the corner wearing cymbals strapped to your knees, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That doesn't quite work as well.
One-man band.
You have found one partner to get out and jam a little bit with. So are you currently working with them to try and maybe set up something for acoustic shows? Or
we haven't been. I'd like to get to that point. I think I've put it too much on the back burner and been focusing on working and stuff too much, but I need to get back into that. I mean, I was kind of actively trying to find a drummer, and really that should be a route I should go, try to see if maybe do some acoustic shows, stuff like that. Actually, for a while, I didn't like my acoustic guitar, so that was part of the reason why I did it, but I got a better one now. But, yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in doing that.
So you prefer electric versus acoustic?
Yes, yeah. If I had to choose, I'm more of an electric guy. I still like doing acoustic, but electric most of the time.
Does that go back to your inspirations? We were talking earlier about bands like Boston that were guitar heavy. And
yeah, I mean, that's how I was always drawn into music. You just kind of give me some big guitar sounds, and you've pretty much got me hooked.
Moving forward, you're working on writing some material, and you're hoping at some point to maybe build up. For now, though, I think you're really focusing on just kind of getting the playing down and getting the songs written and kind of seeing where they go.
Right. I'm actually trying to. I mean, I'm doing this all at home, just home recording. But I'd like to kind of put an album together. I've got some makings of it, and I've got other songs that I just need to get them recorded and mixed and everything properly. But I'd like to get a whole album together.
Do you do you work from software on a computer, or do you work from a hardware standpoint? Do you have equipment that you've purchased at home?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, I've just basically everything that you guys have played here, I've recorded in my apartment, just on my laptop. I've got a mic at home and an interface with my computer. I use Reaper as a DAW to record all my music, so it's all been home recorded. And some of it, I think when I first started out, the quality wasn't as great, but I've gotten better and better at figuring it out.
Now, has it gotten easier as you've been doing that? You said you're figuring it out as you go. Have you?
To an extent, yeah. I mean, as you learn more. Yes and no, because it's easier to at least get a halfway decent sound, but as you learn more, there's more you worry about. When I first started, if I didn't understand how to do something, I just didn't worry about it. Some of these early stuff I recorded, I didn't know anything about EQ and compression and stuff like that. And as I've went out and tried to learn about it, now I know how to use it. I'd rather not use it if I don't know how to do it. So now I kind of have an idea of how to do it. So there's more to do now. It takes me longer, but it sounds
So does
better.
that make you feel like, oh my gosh, I still have so much more to learn?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, there's a million things I still don't know. A long way to go to actually getting good at it.
Well, one thing that you can do, though, is play the guitar. We've established that. So, in fact, we've got your guitar with you tonight.
Yeah.
Thought we'd do a little in-studio song. Can you tell us about the song that you're going to do for us? It's called
Back to You.
Back to You.
Yeah, actually, it's probably my newest song, too. I mean, I've written it within the last month.
All right, well, we're going to do a little acoustic performance for you now. It's Jeremy Hinrichs on the 9 o'clock news local edition with Back to You. You're on Rock 93.7.
Down am alive. I see us falling till I hear you calling. Still haven't found a sign to say we're through. It seems every line brings me back to you, back to you. The shadows of my mind, us dies what you'll find. Past the Gothic statues, you'll find we're reaching for you. Still haven't found a sign to say we're through. It seems every line brings me back to you, back to you. Back to you, back to you, to you. Back to you, back to you. Still haven't found a sign to say we're through. And it seems every line brings me back to you. back to you. Back to you. Back to you.
It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. In studio with me tonight, I have Jeremy Hinrichs, who's been kind enough to come in and just have a little conversation with us about what you've been working on. You say you're still fairly new at this.
Yeah.
You've only been playing guitar for about 7 years or so, and just really started recording your own music.
Late bloomer.
What, a couple of years ago, I guess?
I mean, yeah, probably more. I'd say actually really recording stuff that's anything halfway decent probably in the last couple of years. But I mean, I've always kind of stuck a mic to stuff ever since I started, but anything that's actually been halfway decent production probably in the last 2 years. So
was it easy for you to take whatever you'd been recording and just kind of go, hey, listen to this? Or has that been kind of a, ooh?
When I first started recording, it was more like when I play it, I had a hard time reproducing what I did live. And like I'd go back and listen to it and it didn't feel the same. But I've gotten to a point now where it's like, it's pretty close. It feels pretty close to how I do it live.
So the whole bringing your music to other people, though.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to get into and get it out of the bedroom and out for everyone else to hear and tell me I suck or tell me I'm good. Either way.
Who's the first person that you played something for?
Usually, typically stuff I've recorded, I'd just be like with my brothers or something like that, or friends be like, hey, what do you think of this? Or now my girlfriend or something, just make her force her to listen to it, tell me what they think about it. Because you can't really tell how good it is until you have somebody else tell you one way or another, especially when you've spent so much time on it. I think you kind of you don't even know if it's good or bad until you have somebody else listen to it.
So does that feedback, that's essential then in the whole songwriting process? Does that make you go back and go, yeah, scrap that one? Or
at times, I think part of the problem is I need to get more people who are more critical because most of the people are closer to me and they seem to legitimately enjoy it, but they are, my brothers or my friends or my girlfriend, so they're not going to tell me they hate it. You've
got your songs online.
Yes.
Where can they go online to hear your songs?
2 places on Bandcamp. If you just do Jeremy Hinrichs, HINRICHS.bandcamp.com, I've got them there, and I've also have them on SoundCloud where you can just search my name, Jeremy Hinrichs, HINRICHS.
And of course, you're on Facebook.
I really actually don't have a band page.
Oh, you
on
don't
Facebook.
have a band page yet?
No,
okay.
No, not on Facebook.
Plans to, though?
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually going to have that, and maybe something on Twitter? Do you?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, so working towards the social media aspect. In the meantime, main place to go is to check out Bandcamp. You can find music there and get your hands on it.
You can download it all for free. Same thing on SoundCloud, actually, too. I have all of my songs on there available.
How often do you post something on there?
Just whenever I have something decent. I probably have about, on Bandcamp, I have all the songs that you've talked about here that we've played here. They're all available, and I have some other ones. Probably about 10 on Bandcamp, 10 on SoundCloud. They're available.
All right, so you got quite a selection to go check out. So go online, go look for Jeremy Hinrichs on Bandcamp, HINRICHS.
Correct.
That way we know that they've got the right spelling for that to look for. So look for him on there, and we look for more things to come from you, Jeremy. Thank you for coming in tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
This has been the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7.